Hello, everybody. Right, so I'm going to do some unusual content today, and hopefully it's going to give you a little bit of confidence moving forwards. And it's in regard to content creation. Now, I've been content creating. I don't really like using that word because I'm tarry to talk about stuff. But I've been content creating for about 2.5 years now. As I've said previously, sadly, I missed the whole kind of TikTok boom as a reader. So kind of been on the back foot. And yeah, so over the last 2 years, I managed to build up my original account to over 20,000. And then sadly, I got hit by bot attacks. Hence why this account is just over 1,500. Now, the problem is when you're content creating and you start looking for views and you start looking for tips and advice and stuff like that, it's hard, and you start focusing on numbers and stuff like that, and you start to disassociate with why you're doing it really, and I'm putting this added pressure on. Now that's been very relevant for me recently, with having to kind of start over again, and obviously with all the TikTok changes and stuff like that, it's really affected me. Because whereas before on my original account, I was getting pushed out to a lot more people because there were a lot more people following, on this new account, because of the changes, it just kind of gets washed away in the mix. When I started, you had to get that 1,000 follower count to go live. Now, sadly, since they've kind of released the restrictions, every man, woman, and their dog is on here. And as I jokingly say on my lives, people will mindlessly chuck coins at people when they're cooking their tea. So lives like mine, were actually doing something and actually offering something, they just kind of get washed away in the mix. So it's extremely difficult. Now, I want to give you a little bit of hope. Now, this isn't going to kind of help in regard to getting your views up, because sadly, what we need to understand is that with social media, there is an algorithm at play. And if you're doing content other than trying to make a viral video, it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult because the algorithm, especially on TikTok specifically, just wants to push out the nonsense, basically. So I'm gonna use my figures as an example. This isn't me bragging or boasting. I just want to put it into context because it helps me as well. So my lowest followed account, if you want to call it that, is my YouTube. Now, I'm extremely proud because over the last few months, I've actually started to put some more effort into it. Side note: if you're wanting to go onto YouTube, do it the right way, properly from the start. Because what I was doing was my main focus was on TikTok, and then I was bunging the content on there without any real effort. For anybody who didn't have a TikTok, because you know what people are like. Ironically, the excuse was, well, I don't want I'm not signing up to something that's well, it's not Chinese anymore. It's American, and it's gone to the dogs. Okay. Yeah, so I was just bugging it on there. I wasn't doing end screens, I wasn't doing thumbnails, etc. So over the last couple of months, it's taken a long time because I think I've got like well over 1,500 content videos on there. I've categorized them into playlists. I've added thumbnails. I've used SEOs. I've put end screens on. I'm putting subtitles. So it's taken a long time. Now, I've managed to pick up, I think it's round about 100 new subscribers from putting a bit more effort in. So I'm extremely proud of it. So I'm just over 500 followers, and this is what 500 followers looks like. Now, when you stop and think about it, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Now, over all of my accounts, yes, this has the lowest following. However, you get less fake accounts in my experience on YouTube because it's too much of a faff for people to set up. So as far as I'm concerned, they are I've got 500 plus genuine people follow me on YouTube, and that's what they look like. Right, if we go to my next account, so I'm using my new TikTok account and my Facebook business account because they're in the same ballpark. So I've got round about 1,500 on each of those. So this is what 1,500 people looks like. Okay. Now, it's quite a lot in it. Right now, I'm going to shift across to my original TikTok account. Now, in the world of TikTok, 20,000 people in, compared to the other creators, isn't a lot. Yes, there will be bots and fake accounts and stuff like that. However, if we took that down as a genuine, so originally, up until a couple of months ago, my main account was up at 25,000. And then overnight, 5,000 disappeared. And I believe that a bot farm was taken out. A Russian bot farm, because it's just the Israeli ones that I'm getting hit with now. So this is what 20,000 people looks like. Okay, and then just as a bit of a combined, if you want to do that, and what my original standing was, this is what 25,000 looks like. Now, when you stop and think about it, that's an awful lot of people who support you. Like I say, it might not necessarily. I get it's frustrating, because if, like me, this is your full-time job and you're here to make money, not off TikTok but off my actual readings, it's frustrating when you don't get pushed out. But when you actually stop and take a moment to visually look at how many people support you, it's an awful lot, isn't it? So, if you're kind of in, at the 500 mark and stuff like that, especially on TikTok, say you've just recently set up an account and you go, no, I haven't got that many likes, it's not really getting pushed out. Once you get to the 500 mark, that's how many people are genuinely, provided not fake accounts, genuinely interested in what you're doing. Now, it might seem like a drop in the ocean, but even if those, out of those 500 people, if just one person told somebody else about your account, or better still, two people, or your services, think of the trickle effect. It's going to take a bit of time, but look how that's going. So if you take my YouTube, for example, like I say, I'm extremely proud of how many new subscribers I picked up in a short amount of time. I've gone over the point where I can add a subscription, but I need the watch hours now. Okay. Now it's a little bit frustrating because, like I say, I'm just ticked at, well, no, I'm just coming up to the 1/6 of what I need. Got a year to do it. I'm 100% confident we'll get there. But what's keeping that in mind is, like, every time I get a new subscriber, that's potentially, even if they watch one video a day or one video a week, that's one more valid watch hour. And it's you got to think about it this way. Now, as you probably know, there's an awful lot of content on there about how to grow your account. If you do this, you'll go blah, 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 blah. And the sad fact is, it's a crock, because people are making content like that so that you watch it to boost their account. Now, a couple of months back, I actually watched one on YouTube, and he was honest. He was genuine. He said, I've been doing this for like 15 years. He said, there's no real way of kind of suddenly going viral. It says it's rare. What you've got to do is you've got to put the effort in, you've got to make quality content that people want to watch, and then you've got to faff about with stuff. And at some point you'll hit that right formula, and then that's when you'll take off. So don't give up, keep going. Okay. What I've learned on TikTok specifically is you don't have to do video after video after video after video. Do three. I mean, I do about 3 or 4 a day, because I was burning myself out. Now, yes, I'm on this new account, I'm stuck in 300 view jail, but at some point I will get one which hits the right algorithm and it'll shoot up again and I'll pick up people. So I get it's frustrating. It's not been, it's been frustrating more than me than anybody. But just keep going. Think about the people that actually do want to watch you. Ta-ta.